Bickley and Marotta. Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Unfortunately, his legend peaked in Paris the night he won the gold medal and pedaled home from the nightclub at 6 a.m. the night Devin Booker became Devin Biker. Now, contrast that with what we witnessed last night. A game when Book became the all-time king of Suns basketball, only to brick a free throw that could have forced double overtime. A night when the Big Three scored 86 points, and it still wasn't enough. A night when DeAndre Ayton dominated the Suns' ragtag centers, making all the clutch shots down the stretch. And I ask everybody, what more evidence do we need? Folks, break out the explosives. It is time to blow this thing up. It is time to leverage Kevin Durant between the Warriors and the Rockets, maximize the return, say goodbye to this sleepy team and this never-ending nightmare. Because Durant will be 37 in September, and the clock will only diminish his value because this team is beyond repair, because this team isn't just losing games, it's a lost cause, even beyond the reach of Jimmy Butler's wrath. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Gets it to Booker in the right corner. He shoots the three, and he got fouled by Denny Avdia. Devin Booker's going to have a trip to the line for 3 free throws and a chance to tie this game with 4.4 seconds remaining in overtime. Free throw on the way, left it short. Ayton comes down with it, and a foul immediately with 3.2 seconds left. Booker 2 out of 3 on that trip to the line, and the Suns remain down a point, 120 to 119 with 3.2 seconds left.
Seems almost unfair. That's John Bloom, Tim Kempton on the call last night on the Suns radio network. That third free throw after that foolish foul by Avdia put Devin Booker on the line with a chance to tie the game. But it seems almost cruel and unusual to have a game like Devin Booker had where he was responsible about getting the Suns back in the game early. He scores 34. Oh, by the way, becomes the franchise's all-time leading scorer in the process, and then misses a free throw. His first free throw miss out of 14 attempts.
Yeah, cruel. It's cruel. It really is.
And that's kind of, at least in wins and losses, and you know what a big fan of Book I am. That's the lasting impression from that game. One of them.
Yeah, of
the
course
other one's
it is.
like not grabbing rebounds when they're available to you. And
Yeah. No, but it is. And it's cruel that that's the way last night ended because this should have been an easy victory and a celebration of Devin Booker, a night away from the madness, if you will. And yet it was just more madness. Now, so I have fluctuated once again, and I fluctuated for a couple of different reasons. Number one, the news that the Golden State Warriors are now back into the big game hunting mode, where they are frantically, feverishly looking for a superstar, and there's a lot of momentum around them to reunite Kevin Durant with Draymond Green and Steph Curry, bring back the band, and give it another go. We know the Rockets have all of the Suns' old picks, and we know that the trade of Luka to Los Angeles has kind of ramped up the urgency for certain clubs. Given what I've been seeing from this team, given how much I cannot stand what Jimmy Butler has done to the Heat and throughout the course of the season, this might be the perfect time to pull the plug. Because KD's value is still way up here. You've got a couple of teams that might bid against each other if you are going to trade him. And granted, I understand that this is probably not going to be the course of action for Matt Ishbia. I understand that Gambo's reported that if it's not Jimmy Butler, it's going to be work around the margins, trade for some other stuff to throw into the soup and see if it tastes better. To me, there's nothing saving this basketball team. I'm just convinced of it now. Yeah. I do not need to see any more to know that this group is nothing more than a mid-team.
Bickley, are you out of your fluctuating mind?
I might change my mind tomorrow.
I came away with the same feeling last night. It's like yesterday I'm leaning towards make the Butler deal. Something's got to change. And then you watch the team play, and you're like, how much could it change? And what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're probably prolonging the backside of the agony longer if you do it.
Yes, that's it. And if Jimmy Butler, for all his rage and intensity and passion, is he going to make this team that just floats up and down the court actually play harder? Everybody, I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? So I think that if you have got an escape hatch now that actually makes sense, it might be time to bite that proverbial bullet.
I mean, really, we only have one example of one player coming in mid-season and really changing the results of the team, and that was Kelly Leak with the Bad News Bears. That wasn't even real, Pick. Joking, of course.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy that came on and joined Gene Hackman's team at Hoosiers?
Oh, Jimmy Chitwood.
Jimmy Chitwood.
But he was on the team the year before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he ranks up there in terms of midseason acquisitions, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'd be up there. Good pull.
Mm-hmm.
Our colleagues, if you will, at 95.7 The Game, their morning show is called Spadoni and Shasky. They tweeted this out today in San Francisco. Wiggins, Kuminga, Gary Payton II, and Kevon Looney for Kevin Durant. Or do you put Draymond in the deal and keep Wiggins? They're opening up the phone lines. Does that do anything for you? They would have. I mean,
I want some draft picks.
There'd have to be draft picks.
But
have to be a lot of draft picks. If you're big game hunting and you're that desperate, and your point too about kind of pitting Houston against Golden State is interesting. But I mean, Houston for the Suns purposes, I think would be a much better landing spot because of the draft picks that they have that belong to the Suns once upon a time. I just don't think Houston is anywhere close to the level of desperation that Golden State is.
I think you're right.
Because they're young.
I think you're
they're
right.
up and coming. They can kind of sit back and enjoy this ride of growth and maybe next year add somebody younger than Kevin Durant to the mix.
Yeah.
Maybe there was even a change in the reporting on that story that Houston was sniffing around Kevin Durant, and then the sniffing
stopped,
turned, and it went towards Devin Booker. Mm-hmm. The Suns are not in the Devin Booker trade business right now.
No. So I think that's where you've got to start here. I just don't see any route for Jimmy Butler to get to Phoenix. I think if there
I do. It's the I-10. Goes all the way to Florida, right?
Yes, it does. If there were, he'd probably already be here by now. So I don't know how that's going to resolve. But all these other peripheral reports that Rich Kleiman, KD's longtime business partner, agent, sitting with Joe Lacob, the fact that KD's aware of this discussion. And if you're Kevin Durant, let's be honest here. I mean, if Kevin Durant wants Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler can't get here, what would Kevin Durant think about the Warriors? Hey, and again, if the Warriors have called the Phoenix Suns about Kevin Durant, which they reportedly have, and the Suns have said thanks but no thanks, don't you think they've talked to KD on some level through some back channel? Hey, would you be into this? I'm sure it would have his attention at the very least.
Let me ask you this before we hit the break. Let's say this goes down, and regardless, we don't know what the Suns get back.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a lot. Mm-hmm. Do you think Kevin Durant on Golden State makes them a championship contender?
I don't know. I don't know. You do?
Yeah.
You just going to say, yeah, you want to give us some actual Jarrett facts, something to back it up?
That would make them much, much better.
Why is Kevin Durant not elevating the Suns to be a championship contender? With arguably a better roster around him.
Yeah. Now, granted, you can make you can make an argument that there's an alpha over there in Draymond, or maybe even Steph, Curry, who Rick Bucher got into an argument with Suns fans here. Yeah, he's not. Steph's not an alpha.
No, he's. Go back and watch Friday night's game. You show me what was alpha about that. Steph Curry is a remarkable player with a.
He's a great teammate. He's a remarkable player.
And the best shooter we've ever seen.
Great vibe.
He looked like he wanted to be anywhere else but on that basketball court on Friday night.
But it's also very interesting that the trade of Luka to the Lakers and thereby to LeBron has now suddenly shifted the Warriors back into, we got to do this. We got to go get our star.
Yeah, man.
The NBA is...
They got Durant and LeBron to go to Golden State, and they fell on their face.
How about it? The NBA is so weird.
It's very weird.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.